personally worked in the education space, so I knew the Dulwich College brand quite well. And when I heard that they were setting up here in Singapore, I went over to the session where I met Nick Magnus. And honestly, the reputation of Dulwich, the fact that Nick Magnus was just such an impressive and value-driven headmaster were really the key reasons. In fact, we didn't even apply anywhere else.
In fact, I remember Mohit had gone to see Mr. Magnus first and meet the team, which was at United Square Mall.
Yeah, at that time.
And he said to me that you need to come and meet them because it was, of course, a joint decision. And within 2 seconds, I was just pinching him to say, this is it. Because I remember what he said also. Remember, we teach our boys
to read
with humility, lose with dignity, and I mean all the right at that time. But it was just so impressive, and it was our first time.
And so. I think to add, what was really interesting was that when we were talking about Vivan at the time, Nirvan wasn't even born. But I did mention to Nick Magnus that Mandera side of the family is a direct descendant of Guru Nanak, who founded the Sikh religion. So in essence, he was the 17th direct descendant of Guru Nanak. And I remember Nick Magnus and I had a chuckle over it, and he said, we'd love to have him in that case.
He also said if that's the case, then there's no way he's going to any other school.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Well, I think it's a safe haven. It's a home away from home. We feel extremely confident and comfortable in the fact that our children are safe here, number one. We know that they're loved. We know that it's a value system based on reward rather than punishment. And I just think the education, not just the learning, I think the overall education, the value, integrity, the friends they've made, it's just fantastic.
Also, to add to what Mohit said, of course it's a home away from home, but what I have found is that the teachers are so proactive in the best way. Like for example with Nirvan, we didn't pick up on it, but it was Miss Halliday, right, Rachel, who said, I think I want to recommend something, whatever, like he needed some help with OT, etc. And the teachers are proactive in picking it up and communicating, and that I've seen throughout, even with Vivu when he started school. And there would be this weekly back and forth with the teachers, so that was really really good and nice. Yeah, that's what he was.
Learning division.
Learning division, okay.
Well, I think there have been many, but I think it's not directly related to Dulwich, but Dulwich had an impact on how we managed this. So Vivan got selected to play Kurt in The Sound and Music, and I remember calling Dulwich at the time and speaking and other singers. And I remember speaking with his class teacher and the head of school, and the support, the fact that he would be missing 3 months of school, the support that they offered us, we were just so proud to be a part of this ecosystem. But I think apart from that, we've seen the boys, both of them, on so many instances perform on stage. They both are musically inclined, so we've seen them both perform in the choir, and so there have been a number of moments when they've both been performing, and these are all very proud moments. But it's just an overall experience that counts.
So we saw all the plans when they were being drawn out, literally. So Mr. Magnus, I remember we came here as the first parents, as the founding parents of the founding families, and we were given a tour of what the school was going to look like. It was all a model at that point in time, and it's literally come to life in front of our eyes, which is just the most spectacular thing. Also the fact that despite there being so many well-known and well-renowned international schools in Singapore, Dulwich is definitely one that's, I would say, leads and holds such a firm place of its own in such a short span of time. So that kind of validated our decision to put our children here at that point in time. But it's really wonderful to be a part of this family.
So, there's, the community out here, I think, extends to just beyond the students' parents. It includes the administrators, the teachers, even those who look after the kids with their food services and, everything else. I think community is about extended families, right? And it's about making sure that if somebody comes from Dulwich, it's beyond being just alumni. You know that the extended family will have your back and you'll have their back. So I think for me, that's really what the community has meant.
Yeah, and we look forward to, exploring that further as our kids are growing up. And I remember right at the start, we'd asked Mr. Magnus, because we weren't sure of our plans at that point in time, what our options would be if we were to consider England, for example. And that's what Mr. Magnus at that point had also said, that we have a large worldwide community. So like Mohit said, it goes way beyond just the kids and their classes and the parents. So it's a beautiful place to be.